Now this whole event has gotten me on the point where I have to do a guide on this lovely young lady. But one thing that I also have to do is I have to redo her video, because why not?
Look at those eyes. Those amazing eyes. He'll be mine by the end of the day. I told him that I've taken several live hostages at my house. But once he's there, I'll tell him that I let them go because I love him. He'll fall for me immediately. And once I have him, he'll be mine forever. There is only one thing that could possibly go wrong.
이번엔 반드시 착지! 한 번에 간다! 통하지 않다니!
녀석은 제 사냥감입니다. 시간의 힘으로도 치유할 수 없는 유일한 존재.
I unleash the secret magic! ZEUZ! Flames of the willpower are like bolts of smoke! Sorcerer supreme! Can you keep up?
당신은...
전 당신을 섬길 신입니다.
I am Dr. Strange, Sorcerer Supreme!
What's going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and we are here today with Yuna, the president of the Rengar Student Council and the chosen heir by the guardian Kazran. Yuna is a high school girl who was summoned into this world. She is full of curiosity and obsessed with technology, constantly running experiments, blah blah blah. She is the original wanted character. What's funny about Yuna is that when she first came out, I wanted to be like the first one to get her off the connections, and I wanted to be like the first one to do a guide on her. And back then it was a hassle to get this character, and once you realize how hard it was to get the catalyst to actually use this character, it was like, man, I don't know, her S1's not that great. I mean, the S2 is okay. I mean, it takes forever. Yo, there was so much doubt that you probably did not see a Yuna anywhere. you probably just didn't see a Yuna anywhere. And more importantly, when you actually looked at the patch notes for this patch, is that they gave you the ability that if you actually use Yuna as fodder, that you would actually gate her again in the shop if you wanted to spend the extra event currency for her. Which leads me to believe that people foddered Yuna when they realized that she wasn't that great. Now, this video is not specifically to say that this is the best character ever, but at the same time, it is to say that Yuna is actually not that bad, and there are a couple of people that pioneered her even at that time throughout the entirety of the game's life cycle, and even now when she's receiving buffs, and now she even has one of the elusive, definitely not elusive, exclusive gears, which we'll have to bring into there. This will be the first guide where we'll have to talk about exclusive gear, which should be pretty fun, right? Because you can only put on one if I'm not mistaken. So let's get right into it with those lovely base stats. Not gonna make any little special thing about it, just go straight into it. So bam, the base stats are here. As you can see, her attack is pretty low. She's an AoE attacker. They don't want to make her doing like solo attacker damage. So her attack is looking at 1158. Who cares about her health? Her speed is 112. And based on the last guide that we did do, she is a Leo. So she is going to have the same exact boost in her lovely base stats from Awakening as Furious. So remember how I was saying in Furious's guide that you can actually get 100% crit relatively easy with him on the team, Yuna can actually benefit in the same way. So if you actually have both of them on a team, very lenient on your gear requirement, like how much actual crit you can have. If I remember correctly, as long as you have the Midnight Bloom on one of the characters, they will actually have 100% crit as long as that crit buff is up, which is actually kind of nuts. If you that's pretty cool in my opinion. Anyway, she's relatively fast. She has lower attack, but that is because she hits multiple targets, and her S1 and S3 both have things that increase the damage of them. So in the act of fairness, it makes sense that her attack is not that high, because they're a way to boost the damage. She does do good damage, so don't think that she doesn't do any damage. She has absolutely no effectiveness, and she is one of those characters that, in my opinion, based on how the gear substats roll, she's hard to gear because you don't need effectiveness at all, and effectiveness is always somewhere lingering in the midnight. Same thing with effective resistance. She's a DPS, pure DPS kind of unit. You definitely don't want any like defensive anything on her. Maybe HP if you want to, I don't know, maybe you want her to put herself and kick her out or something and she could tank a couple hits, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to AoE cleave, kill things and provide buffs. So let's go and look at her skills. Oh, I didn't get the cancel. Yuna's like, I want to show you my panties. She's so cute. She's such a cute character. See all the like technology. She's literally Iron Man, but woman. So Iron Woman. Anyway, let's look at the S1. It's going to become homing laser. Lock on cannon. All right, so attacks all enemies with a drone, increasing the caster's combat readiness by 6% per target, and all other allies combat readiness by 2% per target. This is a recent buff. That wasn't how she was out of the gate. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's speed. I actually don't remember that, but hey, we'll take it anyway. When there are 3 or fewer enemies, damage dealt increases with fewer enemies, which is awesome. As you can see, the Molagora is damage. You can also soul burn it for more damage. So I actually didn't know that it had speed scaling on it. I think that that's something also that is new, or it could be that I did not pay attention. If you guys remember the Sid video, I was like, why did he do that? And someone in the comments is like, you're an idiot. So the S1 is the main thing that's going to be stacking up your focus. It's actually why I do like her on, when we go into the artifact, some type of dual attack build or dual attack artifact to allow her get her focus up and things of that nature. Let's look at it here. She sends out Tuna. So next up is going to be the S2, which is upgrade. Buffs all allies with a drone and increases attack and speed for 2 turns. You can actually give this to Molagora to make sure it adds 3 souls plus 2 souls acquired. That is awesome for any type of content that allows you to use the Guardians, or if you need to soul burn something, that's obviously a great thing. So this is great, and then you can lower the cooldown to 3 turns, which is great because now that we know that her S1 scales with speed, you're gonna definitely want to put that attack and speed. Wow, look at that. Did it always tell you the buffs like that? I don't remember that. I'm like, do I even play this game? Do I play this game? Attack by 50% and speed by 30%. Oh my god, I can't even read anymore. Anyway, that's a really cool thing. So far, I think most people are still gonna go with either Molagora this up. I would probably at least go with the S2, lower the cooldown of it. But as you can see, it's 2 focus here. You can't use your S3 until you're at 5 focus. So S2 would give you 2, and then you're gonna need 3 solo hits here, solo S1s, and then you can S3. That's how it works. And then S3 is the Meteor Cannon, or as I will say, the Iron Avenger because of the Marvel thing. Attacks all enemies with an enormous and powerful cannon, inflicting huge damage. They did change it that it always activates a critical hit. So now every time you S3, it will always be a crit, which is opens up her lovely stuff, which actually makes it that maybe you don't even need to go crit whatsoever. You could just ride that critical damage into the homelands, right? When there are 3 or fewer enemies, damage dealt increases with fewer enemies, which is great. Why the S1 with that same wording and the S3 great with that wording is literally because it makes it more effective when you are bringing her into a dungeon and there is a boss. It does good damage when there's multiple people, but as there are fewer, or if there's just a boss after you clear the ads, anything of that nature, now your S1 and S3 are doing more damage. I also know that I didn't S2, so let me S2 now. Someone was probably waiting in the comments. It's me, Yuna. She's so cute. All right, so let's do it proper. We'll S1 again. Now we are ready.
Hey, where do I start?
We're officially ready to S3 properly, even though the game jumped the boat. So as you can see here, damage, and then get more souls for soul burning and our guardian usage, and lower the cooldown damage. So pretty much her Molagora is whatever you plan to be spamming. If you're going on some quirky build to get her S3 up and you're trying to get it, because if you notice here, the S3 does not have a cooldown, so as much as you can get 5 souls, you can use the S3. So I'm not suggesting counter, and we're gonna go into the gear. I'm definitely not suggesting counter because she's too fragile for that. But dual attacking, however, if you could possibly get her to dual attack a lot, and you have to also pair her with characters that also use their S1s a lot, like a Luna or something of that nature, characters that aren't like with lower cooldowns and they're just going to be spamming their S2s and S3s all day, like Deanne is not really going to help you. So stuff like that, maybe you can actually go with the S3 first, but I would definitely go with the S1 first, maybe even the S2. Both of those combined are pretty good, especially if you're using her in a dungeon, and then maybe come back and finish off the S3 for finale finishes.
You can't look down on me.
Can't look down on me? I love that. Because I'm in the air. Get it? Because I'm in space. Great sound effects on that as well.
Go, Yuna.
Great sound effects. I think she is a really good candidate for another alternate costume. Halloween is coming up. Seaside Bologna was for summer. Halloween is coming up next month. And someone's getting a Halloween outfit. Best believe it's going to be somebody. And I think she would be really cool as like an Iron Man, but she like reformatted Kicker Rat and she's like in the outfit, like, so she's like, I don't know, I thought that'd be cool. Let me know what you guys want, either that idea or let me know what you'd want as a Halloween outfit. Let's go over to the gear. You guys have to give me some credit. I've been doing a lot better in shortening up the gear aspect because I talk too much. Now that we know that her S1 does scale with speed, you do want her to go first. So I will be suggesting the speed set. I definitely think that the speed set is pretty good. Start off the match with the S2, and then you're gonna be able to get that S1 with the attack buff and the speed buff, and it should do really good damage. And then she will constantly get her turns back. Remember that the S1 gives her additional combat readiness every time it goes off. So if we're gonna put this in perspective, S2, get an attack and speed buff, her turn's gonna come up quick, plus her getting combat readiness on dual attacks. Then her turn's gonna come again, she's gonna S1, give herself a lead off, as I should say, and then boom, you're in S3 country. That's where, if you think that you can pull that off a lot, then maybe level up that S3 first, if you think that that's where you wanna go, because it's just damage. You don't get any additional combat readiness or anything of that nature. The other thing that I would suggest, I think she might be able to go cheeky. Crit hit damage, the destruction set, is something that I don't like to recommend too often. But to be frank with you, she is actually one of the only characters in the game. There's not many characters in the game that have auto crit. It's her now with her S3, and I know Ken, martial artist Ken, on his S2 passive, when he counters, it is a auto crit. So those are like two characters that I can pretty much say that you can actually go crit damage set, destruction set, and it actually might work out for you. Anyone else has to have a viable way to get crit damage out. Just know that crit hit damage is only good if you can crit. She has absolutely nothing by herself that's gonna make her crit outside of the S3. So all your S1s will have pretty much won't crit. They won't do as much damage as if you went for more attack. In general, that you do have some crit damage on Yuna because you do know that her S3 is going to crit. So most of the time people are just doing crit chance and attack, and they're fine. But to not get crit damage in general, you don't have to have it as the 4 set, but make sure it's somewhere in the subsets. Make sure it's at least probably on the, what was it? I think it's the necklace, right? Necklace? Yeah, it's on a necklace. So your necklace should definitely be crit damage percentage. The other two should be attack, and then it's pretty much off of whatever you think you want. Last but not least, I do want to suggest the Unity set. More S1s off. She also gives combat readiness to other people, so it's not that bad. I do eventually want to have a full Unity set on her. That's kind of what I would specifically run. A triple Unity set on her, giving her 12% dual attack, and then running her alongside with other things, and then just making sure the substats are mwah, beautiful. And then maybe I would just have S3 mania going on, and that's kind of what I would like. You can also obviously go the attack set. It's the basic set. You guys should know this stuff already. I'm not going to spend too much time. Make sure that there's absolutely no effectiveness on her because she absolutely does not need it. She has no debuffs whatsoever. Oh yeah, I forgot. Before I forgot, we can go to exclusive gear. Actually, it would probably be better if we no, I can actually see from, oh no, I can't. Okay. let's go to her exclusive gear. So this is the exclusive equipment. So you have 3 options of what you can get when you do this event. So I'm hoping that I get all 3 options so I can pick and choose when I want and when I don't want. So let's check out the options. Is the homing laser is going to get an increase 1% per target of combat readiness when you use it, which would be great if we're going with the dual attack build. The upgrade has a 30% chance each to grant allies increase attack greater for 2 turns when using upgrade. Last but not least, the meteor cannon. The meteor cannon damage dealt increased by 30% when using meteor cannon. I think that's the weakest one of them all, just because the meteor cannon already crits, so it already is going to do a decent amount of damage. To make it do a little bit more damage in comparison to what the other 2 do, I think it's just not as exciting, not as crazy. Yes, it could allow her to kill things, but she still needs to get 5 focus just to get there. So the other 2 have to be good in order for the S3 to go off. But I guess if you increase the damage by 30%, maybe it's an auto kill on anything. I don't know. We'll have to see that. But I'm going with the S2 and then possibly the S1 because they just work really good with each other. I like the upgrade over all 3 though. That's my favorite. S2, S1, S3, that's how I'm going for it. And what's beautiful about it is that it gives her additional speed, which we now know the S1 does scale off some speed, which is great to make it even better for the getting that upgrade off even quicker. But let's go into the possible options of artifacts that we want to use on our beautiful, lovely Yuna. As we just spoke about it, the Bloodstone is like one of the better ones. It heals the ally with the lowest HP by 13% of the damage dealt, going up to 26% of the damage dealt. This is really, really good on any AoE attacker because it just takes that damage and it just heals the lowest HP. So whether you're countering, you're dual attacking, or your turn, the damage that you deal with that character will then heal someone else. It's like an alternative lifesteal. It's pretty cool because if Yuna is the lowest HP, then it will heal her. It's lifesteal for herself. If someone else is low, the tank is low because they're taking damage for you, then you're gonna heal the tank. So it's pretty good. Like I said, I downplayed it with Seaside Bologna because I didn't want her as a DPS unit. I wanted her more as a debuffer unit. But with Yuna, we know for a fact that we want her to be just purely be doing damage. So this is when Bloodstone, in my opinion, shines the most on pure damage dealers. Otherworldly machinery increases the damage of attacks that target all enemies. All of her attacks, all 2 of them, are AoE, so this is what this is for, AoE attack. So it's obviously just to make her do more damage. I think that some of the other options that we're going to go through are going to give her more utility, and just to have her do more damage is a good thing. Let's be honest here, it's a great thing. More damage is great, but is it as good as other things that she could possibly have? I think that this was great when the game first came out. It wasn't in global server, but it's kind of outdated in my opinion as of now. Rengar's special drink, as we were just talking about it, when you attack all enemies, has a 50% chance to pretty much do additional damage scaling off the caster's attack. She also brings an attack buff, so when this is triggering, pretty much anytime you lose to a Seaside Bologna is when her Rengar special drink triggers every time she does an AoE. It's actually kind of nuts. Rengar's special drink is still pretty good. So pretty much I'm still leaning on Bloodstone and Rengar's special drink. Otherworldly Machine seem cool, but I feel like Otherworldly Machinery is beaten out by Rose Hargna though. The thing about Rose Hargana, I always say Hargna and it's probably Hargana, and it's actually Rosa. Okay, I really don't know how to play this game. This artifact is really good because it gives her a little bit more boost in the dual attack front. Now this is 14%, and like I said before, you can also give her 3 unities and then she'll be at 26%. So with that much dual attacking possibility, she's definitely going to get that S3 up a little bit quicker, a lot of damage. And remember, she also gives combat readiness to others, and also when she does do that attack, she will do additional damage because her attack will be increased by 30%. So a lot of good benefits to it. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed the guide. I had a lot of fun making it. It was a pleasure, and like I really hope that, you know, she's in a good spot right now. I think if they gave her one more buff of, like, I don't know, some like auto counter thing, that's completely busted. But if they gave her one more buff, she actually would break. Like, she would actually be super busted. She's in a really good spot right now. I kind of don't like the health HP. It would be so much better if it hit the front cell, just so it would hit the tank. Nevertheless, she's a really good character. She's pure DPS and all AoE, which is definitely, I think, a lot of people's favorite thing, to just see a character hitting everyone and taking everyone out at the same time. Everyone deserves love here at the Kashino. And I'm loving her story, and I can't wait to see how it actually ends and how they're gonna end this Moon Festival. So I wanted to put this out before the end of it, so to let you guys, one, look out for those so you can skips. I think that you guys will enjoy us going over this whole event. It's what I like to do. There's going to be more lore videos. I'm going to eventually branch out to non-side story stuff when I get the time to. And of course, there's going to be more guides to come. If you guys have a suggestion on a character that you would like to see, feel free to leave them as well. I do try to take some requests. I try. Don't get mad if I don't get to it, but I definitely try. So anyway, one last thing that I got to tell you guys is that every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.